friends, welcome. My name is Jenny Wigham, and I'm going to be teaching a core and restore class today at 21st Yoga in Salt Lake City, Utah. So we'll be focusing on our core, bringing awareness to this powerhouse, our center, really getting some movement, getting some good strengthening going on, building up some heat in the body through movement, and then we'll slowly start to settle into a nice restorative practice. So props that you'll need for today, you might want a couple blocks. You can also use books or anything else. It's a nice solid surface just to give you a little height, little support. You'll also want a bolster, or you can use a couch cushion, a pillow. You could use a rolled up blanket. You may also want a blanket as a prop. You can wrap yourself up in Shavasana or find other ways of utilizing it. And feel free to improvise. If you don't have some of these props, just take some time to look around the house and see what you got. But yeah, let's get going. So start in a nice seated position. I actually prefer to sit up on a prop. This helps to tilt the pelvis forward so you can find a little more length in the spine. You can sit with a little more integrity. You can really connect down to the sits bones, find that length through the spine, and then soften in the face, soften in the shoulders, and just let the hands relax. We'll just take a few moments at first to ground, to meditate, to breathe. So take time to set up your seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Legs could be crossed, they could extend out. You could even plant the feet, draw the knees in towards the chest. So feel free to get any wiggles out. Feel free to settle in, and then when you do, start to find some stillness in the body. You're welcome to close the eyes or take them to a soft gaze. And just start to tune in. Start to open up the senses and start to connect to your breath. Take a few deep, intentional breaths, drawing the breath in and out of the nose, sending it all the way down into the belly. And to bring a little more activation and awareness to our core, on the inhale, press the belly out, creating space for the lungs to expand. And on the exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine, up towards the heart, and hug the ribs in. So you're starting to find some engagement in the core, a little activation there. Mouth closed, jaw relaxed. You can bring in that little whisper breath, that activation of the muscles in the back of the throat, firing up that ujjayi breathing. And use the breath to start to check in with the body, starting to notice how you're feeling, where you're feeling it, anywhere that maybe needs a little extra love or attention today. Now the breath is going to be our guide today. It's going to set the pace, and we want to link the breath to the movements. So we'll do a little pranayama practice called connection breath to help bring that activation of breath to movement. So again, sitting up nice and tall, finding that length in the spine, release the arms down alongside the body. We'll take an inhale to send the arms out to the side, start to raise them up towards the sky, nice and slow. On an exhale, lower prayer hands down to heart center. You can even tuck the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, send prayer hands forward, straighten through the arms, and then open up the arms to either side. And exhale, bring the arms together, keeping the elbows straight at first. When hands meet in prayer, draw them back to heart center. Inhale to send prayer hands back up towards the sky. And exhale, release the arms back down alongside the body. And let's do that again. Inhale, send the arms out and up, nice and slow. Reach them up towards the sky, bring the hands together. Exhale, lower prayer hands down to heart center. Inhale, send prayer hands forward, straightening through the arms, then separate the arms, opening them up side to side. On the exhale, keeping the arms extended at first, draw the hands together, then prayer hands come into heart center. Inhale, send prayer hands back up towards the sky. And exhale, release and back down. One more round of connection breath. Inhale, draw energy from the earth. Bring it up towards the sky. And exhale, gather all that energy down into your heart. Inhale to send that energy out and share it with those around you, opening up yourself. And exhale, gather all of that back together and bring it back into your heart center. Finishing the circle, inhale to send all of that energy up towards the sky. And exhale, release it back down to the earth. Awesome work. Bring the hands to the thighs. We'll take some torso circles. So just starting to find some movement in the torso. Like you're scooping peanut butter out of a jar. These could be as big or as small of movements as you'd like, but really kind of move the ribs around. You don't really necessarily need to dip the chest down. You can keep the shoulders nice and tall, but just find that movement in the torso. And then reverse the direction. Awesome work. A few more rounds here. And then as you feel ready, go ahead and remove any props you may be sitting on so you come flush to the ground. And have some space back behind you to lie back. But we're going to plant the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Grab onto the knees. Find length in the spine. Think cat-cow with the spine here. Inhaling to lengthen up, shoulder blades draw back, gaze lifts, little back bend. Exhale to round it out. Tuck the chin in towards the chest, rounding out. Awesome work. A few more like this. Inhale, tilt forward onto the sits bones as you lengthen up, opening up across the chest. Exhale, rock back onto the tailbone as you tuck in. Awesome work. One more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, round it out. This round, we're taking it all the way down to the ground. Take it nice and slow. Hands could walk down the legs for support. They could release to the ground or extend out to find more core activation as you slowly lower down. Take your time. It's okay if you rock back. It's okay if you fall back. And eventually, when you get down to the ground, we'll send the arms overhead. Lengthen out through the legs. You can roll out through the wrists and ankles, wiggle through the fingers, spread out through the toes. And then as you feel ready, find an engagement in the core. Inhale, drawing the knees in towards the chest. They can come in one at a time or simultaneously. Tuck through the tailbone. Grab onto the outsides or tops of the knees. Hug the knees in. Maybe some gentle rocking side to side here or circles through the knees. Stay connected to your breath. Awesome work. Knees come to neutral. We'll inhale to raise the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Draw the nose in towards the knees, knees in towards the nose. Draw the belly down, hug ribs in. Inhale to open up through the arms, open up through the legs. Just find whatever angle works best for you. And exhale, draw it all back in. Nice and slow movements. Inhale to extend out through the limbs. And exhale, bring it all back in. We'll take a few more rounds here. You could extend the legs up if that feels better on the low back. The hands could reach up. You don't have to come all the way to the diagonal. Exhale to draw it all back in. And if this is a little too much on the neck and shoulders, you can release the head down. Inhale to open and extend. Exhale to draw it all back in. Awesome work. One more round. Inhale to open. And exhale, bring it all back in. Beautiful work. Release the head and neck, lifts. And then we're going to bend both knees. Try to bring the knees in line with the hips. That does take a bit of core work. So if you need to draw the knees in, that's fine. Just eventually working towards getting the knees stacked over the hips. Flex the toes back, shins are parallel to the ground. We'll extend the left leg up towards the sky. Inhale, raise the head, neck, and shoulders up. keeping the elbows open, chin lifting. Exhale, lower the left leg down as the left elbow comes across to the right knee. Inhale, come back through center as you raise the left leg up. And this is where we'll repeat. Exhale, left elbow, right knee as the left leg lowers down. Inhale, draw it all back through center. Awesome work. Stay open across the chest. You could easily fake this by drawing the elbows in, cranking the head over, but we really want to focus here on that oblique engagement. So really drawing that elbow across as you lower the leg down and raising it all back up, keeping that opening across the chest. Awesome work. Let's do 2 more. Find your breath. Last one. Exhale, twisting over towards the right. Inhale, back through center. Release the head, release the feet. Couple free rounds of breath, maybe taking some windshield wipers with the knees or any other movements that would feel good here. And then we'll set that up on the other side. Knees bent, shins parallel, extending the right leg up towards the sky. Flex both or all toes back so that you have that nice activation in the feet. We'll inhale to raise the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground, shin lifting, elbows open. Exhale, right elbow to left knee as you lower the right leg down. Inhale, draw it all back up towards center. Awesome work. This is where we'll repeat. Exhale to cross. Remember, working those obliques. We don't want to fake the crunch. And the leg can lower down just as far as feels okay. So maybe it comes just at the diagonal. Maybe it comes all the way down to hover. But it's your choice what feels best in your body. A few more rounds here. Stay connected to the breath. Nice, slow movements. Excellent work. Tuning into your body. I'll be giving you lots of options to explore so you can make this practice as gentle or as challenging as you'd like it to be. Excellent work. Let's do 1 more round on this side. And release it all down. The hands could come to the belly. You could walk the feet out, maybe another few rounds of windshield wipers. You could also draw the knees in towards the chest or take a happy baby. All right, a little bit more core work here on the ground. As you feel ready, we're going to extend the legs up towards the sky, and we're going to scissor the legs. And we're going to start with the right leg extended, left leg out. And then we're just going to walk the hands up the leg as we raise the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. And then walk back down. Awesome. Toes are flexed back. Walk it up on the inhale. Exhale, walk it down. And just 1 more here. Inhale to walk up. Exhale to walk it down. Beautiful work. Inhale, raise the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. We'll extend the arms out and we'll bring in a little pulsing here. Find your breath, link the breath to the pulses. Doesn't have to be this quick, but it could be inhale and exhale. Awesome. Feel free to stay here with the legs or add the legs. Kicking. Find your breath. Feel that heat building up in the body. Last one. And release it all down. Knees come in towards the chest. Head and neck release. Awesome work. A couple free rounds of breath here. Maybe some rocking side to side. Excellent work. Then we'll once again extend the legs up. Flex the toes back. Release the right leg down. And we'll walk up the left. Walk up that leg as you raise the head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale to walk back down, releasing it down. Inhale, walk it up. Exhale, walk it down. Awesome. A few more. Inhale, walk up. Exhale, walk it down. Last one. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful work. Extend the arms out. You could keep the head and neck and shoulders on the ground or raise them up and bring in those pulses. Embrace the shake. If you find shaking in the legs, in the core, even in the arms, that's the body getting stronger. Stay here with these pulses, connecting the breath to the movement, or if you'd like, bring in the legs. And if this is a little too much strain on the neck and shoulders, feel free to release them down. Draw the belly down, hug ribs in. A few more rounds here. Awesome work. On your next exhale, release the head. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Bring the tops of the hands to the knees, hands to the tops of the knees. Spread the knees out, flex the toes back. Little reclined frog pose here, finding an opening in the hips. Feel free to stay here or take this into a happy baby. Knees bent, feet up towards the sky, knees in towards the armpits. You can grab on behind the knees, up the legs, or anywhere along the feet. Maybe some gentle rocking side to side here, or you could even extend out through the legs. All right, then when you're ready, release the feet, draw the knees in towards the chest. Find a little rocking horse. So we're gonna rock up and down the length of the spine here. A little nice back massage. If this doesn't feel good, feel free to skip this. And then we'll use this to transition to a plank pose. So a fun way to do that is to rock forward, plant the hands, hop or step back to plank. Take your time to set up your plank, and if that transition didn't work for you, find one that does. I'm definitely feeling that heat in the body. Awesome work. In plank pose, you really want to find a solid connection down to the hands. Spread out through the fingers, root the middle knuckles down, and bring a lift in the back of the heart. So we're not dropping down into the shoulders, we're lifting here. The legs could be extended as you root back through the heels. You could also lower the knees down, finding a half plank. Core is engaged, belly draws in and up. Awesome work. Connect to breath. And on your next exhale, draw the elbows together, and we're going to slowly lower all the way down to the belly. Point the toes, press into the tops of the feet, straightening the back side of the core. Inhale, raise up to cobra, just coming up as high as feels okay. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one with a hold. Inhale, lift, and pause. Really draw those elbows together, open up across the chest, wrap all the muscles along the spine. You can continue to press into the hands. Maybe you're a little higher up. Maybe the belly's still on the ground and you want to start to hover the hands. Find your breath, pressing into the tops of the feet. Thighs are heavy, hips are heavy. Really engaged in those legs. We're lengthening through the spine, even as we're working through this back bend. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, release it all down. Plant the hands, elbows draw together. Press the ground away, come up through tabletop. Send the hips back to a child's pose. You can release the head down towards the ground. It could also come towards a block to bring the ground closer. Open up through the back side of the body. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Breathe into the back side of the lungs. And if at any point you need to expel a little heat out of the body, feel free to send a nice sigh out of the mouth. All right, when you're ready, we'll inhale to come up through tabletop. Just like we had in plank pose, find that connection to hands, lengthen through the spine. We're gonna prop the toes, draw belly in, hug ribs in. And then nice and slow, we're gonna start to hover the knees. Root back through the heels, find a stretch in the feet and the Achilles. Lengthen through the spine. Again, we're pressing the ground away. We're not dropping into the shoulders. We've got that lift in the back of the heart. extending through the spine. With that length in the spine and the bend in the knees, start to lift the hips up and back. The head comes between the biceps, chest back towards the thighs as we find a bent kneed downward dog. Connect to the breath. Awesome work. And if it would feel good, pedal through the feet. And you can start to work to straighten through the legs, but notice if that causes you to round out in the spine. If that does, keep that bend in the knees to keep that length and extension. Awesome work. Couple rounds to just settle into your first downward dog. All right, and when you're ready, we're going to ground down to that left heel. Without shifting too much in the hips, inhale to send the right leg forward, up, and back. Doesn't matter how high the leg is coming, but activate through that leg. Point or flex through the toes, square through the hips. So that right hip bone is shining down. We're not opening up here, but it's nice and squared. Awesome work. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Take your time, take as many steps as you need to get there, and then settle into your base. Really find that solid connection to the feet, inner thighs draw together, find your balance, then inhale, raise up, crescent lunge. Beautiful work. In crescent lunge, we want to have the hips nice and squared. So the right hip drawing back, left hip shifting forward. Awesome work. Hands could be at the hips, they could be resting on the knees or reaching forward, up, and back. Awesome work. Let's fire up those legs just a little bit. Inhale to straighten through the front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend in the knee, bend in the elbows, come back to lunge. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, lower down. One more like this. Inhale, reach it up, straight through that front leg. Exhale, bend the knee, bend the elbow. Beautiful work. Knees are bent. Inhale to extend. Exhale, open up warrior two. So back heel pivots down, arms open up along horizon. Awesome work. Find your foundation here. Again, we want to press into the feet. All four corners of the front foot, back edge of the back foot, lengthen through the spine. We're going to find a little flow here to work with our obliques. Take it nice and slow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale to come back up through warrior two. Exhale to find side angle. Awesome work. And this is where we'll repeat. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Exhale to reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Follow your own flow. Follow your breath, but move with control. Move from that strength in the obliques. You're welcome to continue with this one breath per movement, or you could slow things down. If you want to take a few more rounds of breath in each pose, feel free. Let your body find its full expression of each pose. We have our solid foundation of the legs, that strength and stability in the low body. And then we have this fluid, soft, controlled movement in the upper body. Beautiful work. Finish the round you're on. And we'll meet back in a warrior two. From warrior two, we'll cartwheel the hands all the way down to the ground, framing the foot. Pivot the back heel up, draw that right foot back, coming to plank pose. Awesome work. Connect to your plank, connect to core. On an exhale, elbows draw together, lower all the way down to the belly. Press into the tops of the feet, elbows draw together, 3 rounds of cobra. Inhale, lift up as high as feels okay. Exhale, lower down. 2 more rounds coming up as high as feels okay for you. You may be coming up higher than me. I modify for a back injury. That's what feels best in my body. Do what feels right for you. Last inhale, lift and hold. Find that opening across the chest. Draw the shoulders back. Shoulder blades pinch together. And if you'd like, maybe start to hover the hands. Maybe they start to reach back. They could also interlace. We're pressing into the tops of the feet. Legs are active. Maybe you start to raise one at a time. Maybe both raise. Awesome work. One more deep inhale. Maybe everything lifts just a little higher. Exhale, release it all down. Come to a nice neutral spine. Hands underneath the shoulders. Elbows draw together, prop the toes. Coming out the way we came in. On an exhale. Press the ground away up through plank or your half plank. And then lift the hips. Downward dog. Awesome work. Feel free to pedal through the feet. Shake the head yes or no. We'll be here for a few rounds of breath. If you'd like, feel free to grab a drink. I know I could use one. Feel that heat in the body. Awesome work. From downward dog, we're gonna ground down to the right foot. Inhale to extend the left leg up and back. Find that activity here. Find that squaring of the hips. So again, we're not opening up. That left hip bone shining down towards the ground. Awesome work. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, shift forward through plank. Step the foot between the hands. Take as many steps as you need. You can lower that back knee down and physically place the foot there. Take as much time as you need to settle into your base. Find your foundation. Find your balance. Then inhale to raise up to your crescent lunge. Hands could come to the knee. Hands could reach forward, up, and back. Tune to the spine here. The spine could be at a diagonal, hovering the chest over the thigh, or come towards more of a gentle back bend. Again, we're working with that squaring in the hips. So left hip drawing back, right hip shifting forward. Inner thighs draw together as you root down towards the ground. Beautiful work. Finding that solid foundation. Finding up those legs just a little bit more. Reach the arms up towards the sky if they weren't already there. Exhale, bend the elbow, bend the knee, back knee. Awesome work. Inhale, re-extend. Straight through the front leg. Exhale, bend the front knee. Bend the elbows, lower back knee. Inhale, re-extend. Last one. Exhale, bend and lower. Nice work. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, we're gonna bend into that front knee. Keep the legs where they are. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open up to your warrior two. So we've got that back heel pivoting down. And we're pressing so much into the feet. Front foot pressing forward, pressing back into that back foot. Feels like we're trying to tear our mat in half. Find that solid foundation in the legs. Nice straight spine as you stack the shoulders over the hips. And then we'll find our little flow here. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, flip the palm up, reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale to your side angle. Inhale, back up through center. And this is where we'll repeat. Exhale to reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. And you could continue to find your flow at this pace. You could even slow things down if you want to take a few more rounds of breath in each pose. Really move from the strength in the obliques. Use the strength and stability of the low body to find that fluid movement in the upper body. Moving with control and letting your body find its own expression. A few more rounds here. Notice any differences in each side. We work both sides to bring balance. We want to honor the differences in each side. Beautiful work. Finish the round you're on. And when you're ready, we'll meet back in our warrior two. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down. Frame the foot, pivot back, heel up. Draw the left foot back. Find your plank. Beautiful work. Elbows draw together on an exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Point the toes, press in the tops of the feet. 3 rounds of cobra. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Pause. Elbows draw together. And maybe start to hover the hands. Maybe they reach back or interlace. And again, you can start to play with raising one foot at a time or both legs raised. If the legs are raised, they're still active. Whether they're down, pressing into the tops of the feet, or keep that same interaction as you raise the legs up. Activation. Find the belly or breathe into the belly. On your last inhale, maybe everything lifts just a little bit higher. Exhale, release it all down. Turn onto either cheek or bring the hands to frame the head, stacking the knuckles and resting the forehead on the top knuckle. Feel free to chill out here in a nice neutral spine. You could also bring in a little shimmy in the hips or bend the knees and take some reverse windshield wipers. Awesome. When you're ready, re-extend through the feet, prop the toes, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows draw together, lengthen through the spine. Find that engagement in the core, press the ground away, come up through your plank pose. Awesome work. From plank, we're going to step the feet forward, we're going to come to a seat, and we're going to play with boat pose. So what you want to remember with boat pose is to keep a nice V shape with the body. We don't want to collapse into the low back. We don't want to collapse into the shoulders. So want this nice length in the spine. Belly draws in and up. And ways that you can explore this. You could bring the hands back behind you. You could come up onto the heels or onto the toes. You could play with raising one leg at a time. Both legs could raise. You could bring the hands back behind the knees, or they could extend out. So whenever you're ready, on an inhale, find your version of boat. So you want to find that length in the spine. Imagine there's a string pulling your heart up towards the sky. So again, we're not rounding out, we're not laying back. We've got that nice V shape with the body. Awesome work. This in itself is a challenge. If you do want a little bit more, we'll take our boat for a little row. So we'll inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Last one if you're taking that option. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, back through center. 3 more rounds of breath. You got this. Flex the toes back, find that length in the spine. Beautiful work. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, release it down. Bring the bottoms of the feet to touch. Knees drop open, coming into a cobbler's pose. You're welcome to slide blocks underneath the knees if you've got tight hips like yours truly. You could also lengthen up through the crown of the head. You could chill out here or start to fold forward. What you want to resist is grabbing onto the feet and pulling yourself down. Nothing forceful, nothing aggressive. Just allowing yourself to find a little opening in the hips. A nice stretch for the back. And you can even tuck the chin in towards the chest, finding a little stretch in the back of the neck. Awesome work. When you're ready, nice and slow, we'll start to raise back up, and we'll start to set up for our restore practice. So you're gonna wanna grab bolster or your cushion, pillow. You could even roll up a blanket. The bigger the blanket, the bigger the cushion you're gonna get. We wanna take it to the right side of the mat. And we wanna interlace it or interface it with our right hip. We're gonna come into a supported twist. So we're gonna bring the hands to frame the bolster. We're gonna inhale to lengthen through the spine. And then on the exhale, we're gonna start to lay the body down. You can turn onto either cheek. You could also stack the hands and rest the forehead on the knuckles. For a stretch in the neck, you may want to turn the head away from the knees. And then you can also play with the position of the legs. The knees could be bent, knees stacked. You could extend the legs out. This is a little less or a little more gentle version of the twist. You could also stagger the legs, sending that top knee back. Arms can be parallel to the bolster. You could send them out into a T. You could release them down alongside the body. Whatever feels best for you. Just find your version of this twist. Find your breath. And stay present even as we start to wind things down. Maybe you can feel the rise and fall of the belly against the bolster, blanket. You may even feel your heartbeat. It can be a little challenging switching gears from movement to chilling out. The mind may start to wander, monkey brain might take over, so really practice that mindfulness. Find an anchor to keep you present, whether that's the breath, the sensation in the body. Maybe you're working with a mantra or an intention for your practice. A few more rounds of breath on this side. And no rush. Whenever you feel ready to come out, once again, we'll plant the hands on the outsides of the bolster and we'll gently press ourselves up. Now, depending how you have this set up, I've got this little T cross with my mat going, so you could just shift onto the sits bones and then shift over to the left side. Or again, depending on how you have it set up, maybe you bring the bolster over to the left side. And we'll set up our twist here. So then we'll have that bolster interfacing with the left side of the hip. We'll plant the hands to frame the bolster. Find length in the spine first. Telescope the ribs up. And then exhale, release it down. And finding whatever position for the arms, for the head works for you. If it feels good in the neck, you could turn the head away from the knees. And you could stack the knees, you could stagger, you could make this more gentle by extending one or both legs out. Find your breath. You feel into the grounding of this pose. Nothing forceful here, nothing aggressive. Find your breath and just be present. Allowing any outside influences, outside noises to become a part of the process. Allowing any thoughts, feelings, or sensations that come into your awareness to be a part of the experience without getting sucked into those things. So being present, being aware, being mindful without getting caught up. A few more rounds of breath here. And as you feel ready to come out, no rush. Once again, we'll frame the bolster with the hands. Gently start to press ourselves up. We'll shift onto the sits bones. Plant the feet. Take them a little wider than hip distance. Bring the hands back behind you. And take some windshield wipers, side to side. Take it nice and slow, because in that transition, you also get a nice little booty massage. A release for the hips, for the low back. All right, and when you're ready, we're going to settle into a reclined heart opener. So we'll have our bolster back behind us, interlacer interfacing with the low back. And we're going to be lying the spine back along the bolster or the blanket, the rolled up blanket, couch cushion, whatever it is that you're working with. So really stay in tune with how this feels in the low back. If this is too extreme of an arch, there's a lot of different things that you can do to adjust for that. You could press the bolster further away so there's not quite so much of an arch there. You could slide a block or a book underneath your cushion or bolster, giving it a little angle and starting to reduce more of that arch in the low back. You can also completely neutralize in the low back by lifting the hips, sliding a block or a book underneath the hips, and really neutralizing there. Really what we want to be doing is getting a lift in the back of the heart so the shoulders can drop back and down further than they could if we were just lying flat on the back. And then it's your choice what you want to do with the legs. You could take this into a hip opener by bringing the bottoms of the feet to touch, letting the knees drop open in that cobbler's pose. You could slide blocks underneath the knees for support here. You could also have the legs extended out along the ground, bringing in a little more back bending and taking this into more of a supported fish pose. And the most gentle option for the low back will be planting the feet wider than hip distance and then letting the knees drop in on themselves. So allow yourselves to settle in, to find this beautiful opening across the chest and opening in the heart. Hands can be alongside the body, palms turned up. They could be out. They could be into a T. But if you're feeling like you're wanting a little more grounding or containment in this pose, you could also bring the hands to the belly, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. You could even cross the arms across the body, grabbing onto opposite elbows, biceps, or shoulders. So again, lots of options to cater this practice to be whatever you need it to be. Relax into this. And if you are working with a blanket, if you don't have a bolster, just want to show you one option. You could just open up your blanket, roll it up, And that can give you that little lift that you're looking for in the back of the heart. You could also use a rolled up yoga mat, folded up pillow. As we start to wind down, if you start to notice your body temperature getting a little cooler, you're welcome to put a blanket over yourself. And stay connected to the breath. This is one of my favorite poses. After a long, hard day, we spend so much time folding in. Spend a lot of time hunched over at our desks, at computers, as we drive on our phones. Even sometimes just to protect our heart and other vital organs. So this is a beautiful way to counterbalance all of that forward rolling in that we do. So this might feel a little vulnerable, might feel a little exposed. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. As long as there is no pain in the body, a little discomfort can help push us outside of our comfort zone, can help push us to grow and evolve. Present to any thoughts, feelings, or sensations that come into your awareness with that healthy level of detachment that yoga helps to bring in. That ability to witness, to be able to curiously observe the things that come into our awareness without getting caught up. Being the container for our present moment experience without getting contained by it. A few more rounds of breath here. And as you feel ready, gently coming out of this, if the legs are in reclined cobblers, you could bring the hands to the outsides of the thighs and gently draw the legs together. Feel free to make your way out of this pose in any way that feels right. And we'll start to make a transition towards our Shavasana, or our final relaxation pose. But if you'd like to take a few moments to explore any final movements, anything that your body's craving, anything that'll help round out your practice, feel free to take as much time as you'd like to explore those. Maybe there's a twist you'd like to take. Maybe it's coming into a gentle inversion, extending the legs up towards the sky. You can also come into a supported shoulder stance, pressing the feet into the ground as you lift the hips, sliding a block or bolster underneath, And then extending the legs up. Or any other final movements that would feel really awesome in your body. This is one last opportunity to tune in, to listen, to build that positive relationship with the body. And then whenever you feel complete in that final exploration, starting to set up your shavasana or your final relaxation pose, and know that there's no wrong way to do this. Traditional corpse pose, legs extended, arms alongside the body, palms turned up, toes turned out. Ways that you can adjust this, you could slide a bolster underneath the knees. You could stay in that reclined heart opener position if that felt good. Excuse me. Another great option, especially for low back release, is to create a little Stonehenge structure, taking blocks or books about hip distance, so whatever height you'd like, and then taking your bolster across the top. Scooting the booty forward so you can kick the legs up. Nice release for the low back. If it doesn't feel great to lie on the back, come on the side. Lie on your belly. You could even, excuse me, you could even come to a seated meditation. And as you come to your final relaxation, as you settle into your pose, allow yourself to fully surrender. To release the body, feeling the support of the props, of the earth, of your mat. Releasing any control over the breath that you were practicing. And allowing the mind to settle into the peace of the present. The peace that our mindful practice helps us to uncover. That peace, that inner peace is always with us. Even in the most chaotic of times. And our mindful practice helps us to access that peace. take a moment to check in. To observe, to acknowledge, to feel any effects of your mindful practice. Noticing if anything shifted or integrated, if anything opened or released. And some days it may just be finding something that feels more neutral or just a little less bad. But without expectation or judgment, just observe how you feel in mind, in body, in spirit. If you have more time to dedicate to your Shavasana, please take as much time as you'd like. As you feel ready, gently start to bring some movement back into the body. Eventually rolling onto one side of the body, taking a pause in a nurturing pose. And wherever you find yourself, just take a moment to offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time to join me today live or on video, for carving out this time to give yourself this beautiful gift of self-care. And as you begin to feel ready, gently make your way back up to a comfortable seat. I'll invite you to bring the hands to heart center or to take any other meaningful gesture with the hands. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been my pleasure to guide you through this class. I see you, I honor you, and I bow to you. Namaste.